Next, we're going to be weaving the bases of our basket. I will start, and I'm building the tall basket. So I have my cut spokes already soaking in water. Here I have my 5 18-inch spokes and my 3 20-inch spokes. So as you can see, our spokes are curved right now. What we want to do before we begin is something we call milking the cow. We turn the curved smile upside down and we milk the cow.
Turn that frown upside down, Kirby.
That's exactly what I did. So now that I've milked the cow, we can see that my spokes are straight. So I have my 18 inches done and my 20 inches. Make sure they're nice and straight. Now, the method we use while weaving our base is called the pickup method. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the rubber bands off of my spokes. And to start, we lay down 5 18-inch spokes for the tall basket.
We're gonna be laying them out
Horizontally
and parallel.
Thank you. So we see they're horizontally. I have 2 parallel lines, and we want them to be just about a finger space apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down all 5 of my 18-inch spokes. And now that I have my 5 laid down, I need the help from my partner. He's gonna place his hand firmly on the end of my spokes without lifting them, because this is where the pickup method comes in. First, we start with our odd numbers, which is 1, 3, and 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my odd numbered spokes first, 1, 3, and 5. And once I have these lifted up, I'm just gonna go ahead and slide in one of my 20-inch spokes. After I have 1, 3, and 5 picked up, I'm gonna go to my even numbers, 2 and 4. So I'm gonna pick up 2 and 4 and slide in another 20-inch spoke. And then I go back to my odd numbers, 1, 3, and 5. Slide in that last spoke. I'm just gonna make sure they're even, make sure all the squares are about the same space, and thank my partner. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And before we continue, I want to put clips on all 4 corners so that my base does not move. So once my base has been woven and it's ready to go, I'm just gonna set it aside and we're gonna work on the short basket with Steven.
Awesome. So would you be so kind as to hand me the spokes for my short basket, please? Okay. So I have 10 16-inch spokes here, and what we're going to do is we're going to repeat the pickup method. But first we need to upset or milk the cow. Looks like mine are already pretty straight. Don't need that much cow milking. Okay, and I'm going to take 5 of my spokes, and all of my spokes are the same size, so I don't need to really separate them, but I will count 5 out, and I'm going to lay down 5 horizontal parallel 16-inch spokes, making sure there's a finger space between each one. All right, they all seem pretty even to me. Kirby, would you help me out by putting your hand on the end of my spokes?
Sure.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm gonna repeat the pickup method. The first spokes I'm going to pick up are the odd spokes, 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, 5. Take one spoke with the other hand. Go ahead and slide that all the way down. And you're also trying to make your spokes perpendicular. Okay, I did 1, 3, 5 with my last pickup. This time I'm going to do 2 and 4, the even numbers. Slide that down. 1, 3, and 5 next. Two and 4. And then finally 1, 3, Okay, and I can just even them up, making sure all the squares look similar like Kirby did. And then my last step is to grab my clips to hold everything in place.
Now, once we have our clips on the base of our basket, our weaving is done. And the next step is we need to measure the perimeter of our base. So now that Stephen and I have our bases woven, we're going to measure our perimeter. For my tall basket, 2 of my sides, the longer sides need to be 5 inches, and the other 2 sides need to be 3 inches long. So I have my ruler here. I'm gonna go ahead and take off my clips for this part, just so I can get more accurate measurements. And of course, we know we always measure from the 0 line. So starting at the edge of where our perimeter is, so this rectangle right in the center of our base, that's where I'm gonna line up my 0 line, right at where these 2 spokes intersect. So this is just a little bit over 5 inches. So in order to make it smaller, I'm just gonna scoot in some of my spokes inward to get it closer to 5. How does that look, Steven?
I think you're right on about 5 inches.
Good. So now that I have 5 inches on one side, I need my shorter side to be 3. So once again, starting with my 0 line at the corner, and I'm just a little bit over 3, so I'm gonna scoot in my spokes until I am at 3 inches. Now, I've measured 2 sides, but we have 4. So I'm gonna go and double check that these are also 5 and 3. So it looks like my perimeter is measured accurately. I can go ahead and put my clips back on so that my measured perimeter does not move. And Stephen, you can borrow my ruler and measure your perimeter.
Great, so I'm just gonna repeat the exact same process that Kirby did just now. Only my short basket is going to measure 5 inches by 5 inches around the perimeters, the base perimeter. Okay, starting at the 0 line, at the very corner where our 2 spokes are intersecting, I'm gonna line that up right there. And it looks I'm very close to 5, but I'm still going to scoot all of my spokes in to make my base even. And then that's right on 5 inches. Okay, so there's one side. Let me double check the top up here. That looks like it's a little off, so I'm gonna scoot that one in a little bit. Okay, so these 2 sides are good. Now I can turn my base. Make it a little bit easier for me. You have to be gentle with it because it's not clipped down, and if you move it too quickly, it will shift out of position. And this one is a little bit smaller than 5 inches, so I'm actually gonna scoot this one out a little bit. And then now that I've shifted this row, I have to shift all the other rows as well to make them all even. Most of them at least. Okay, I'll double check this side too. That's right at 5 inches. Check 5 inches, 5 inches, 5 inches, and 5 inches. So now I'm ready to clip all 4 sides of my short basket, measured 5 inches long. Okay, so now both the tall basket that Kirby wove and the short basket that I wove have had their perimeters measured correctly, and the clips are affixed to the corners of our baskets, and we're ready for the next step.